Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we're working on the green car again. We have some fixes to make for our cert and our WAF. We took our car in for a WAF on Monday, just gone. Failed, bunch of stuff. We'll show you that in a sec. And then on Tuesday we went over to Rotorua to the vehicle cert shop over there to see Colin. Failed the cert as well. Again, we'll show you that stuff. So let's rip into it and we'll see what we got to fix. Alright, so the phone ran out of storage there, but the last thing on the list is LVVTA certification is required for tyres, suspension lift, sidebars, front brakes, rear diff drop and rear diff shave. And then we have our certification fail list, which is quite small. We just have the speedo reads slow. At 100 kilometers an hour, my speedo reads 82 kilometers an hour, so we're 18 k's out at 100 k's. That's no bueno. The solution I have for that is a crowd in Auckland called Robinson Instruments. They make speedo corrections for cable-driven speedos, which is what this has. So that's just a little box full of reduction gears, and it'll screw into the gearbox and have the speedo cable screw on the other side, and it should sort it all out, provided I give them the right measurements and speed readings and stuff. Number two, we have guard flares required, front and rear. Front mud flaps required, only like 100mm ones. And then provide load ratings for rims because they didn't have a brand on them since they got sandblasted and powder coated. And then number 5 is the specs for the rear diff drop, just to make sure that it was done by a qualified welder and not done by me here in my shed. So let's rip into all that stuff. As well as that, today we have some tyres and rims just behind you to go in our big car, and we also have a snapped hub bolt that we need to get out. So we'll go about doing all that and we'll bring you guys along for the journey. So the first thing we're going to get into, just start at the top of the list, work our way down. We have windscreen wipers. If you haven't put these on before, they're very easy to do. Let me show you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to sort out is this snapped hub bolt. So my plan is just to take the hub off. We don't need to take the wheel off. We'll just take the hub off and then I'll center punch it. I've got some reverse drills. I'm going to try that first. If that doesn't work, I do have some easy outs as well. So we can use that center punch to drill a hole and then use the easy outs to get it back out. So we'll give those a go. And of course, you guys can watch along. Alrighty guys, so we got it out, there you go. Not sure if you guys could follow exactly what was happening there in the time lapse, but I think when I was trying to drill it, it was, I think it broke it loose. And then we just put one of those reverse drill bits in, bigger than the size hole that I was drilling. So I was drilling a 4mm hole, that was the drill bit I snapped. And this is a 6mm reverse drill bit. And it just catches on, that's the whole idea. It catches on to the edge of the hole and just spins it backwards. So, it's the first time I've used these reverse drill bits and I'm actually quite happy with the result. So all we got to do now is make sure there's no swarf on the hub here, on the spindle, and then we'll just throw it back together with a new bolt. So the next thing we got to suss out is this gearbox cross member here. So you can see it's quite bent. So I think I'm hoping we can just kind of bend it back a little bit and then take it out. Okay guys, so with that out you can see just how munted it actually is. This is supposed to be 90 degrees from here down to here. I had to take this piece off as well because that bolt, this is bent over that bolt. So we're going to throw it in the vise and lean on it and see if we can open that up to get that off, because I also have to change this mount just here. So let's give that a go. Okay guys, so I've hit a bit of a wall. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the car going again today, which was the plan, because I need to measure a whole bunch of speeds to give to Robinson Instruments. So the issue I've run into is I need a new bush in this transmission mount, and this transmission mount just needs to be replaced completely. So unfortunately, there's nothing holding the transmission on apart from my jack at the moment. And I've had it too late in the day to go to Partmaster. They do have one of these in stock, so I could have just whacked it back together with a new one of these and then just pulled this one out later. But unfortunately, I'm now going to have to wait till Monday to get them. We're still trying to straighten this cross member. I am wondering if it's just worth buying a different one. I'm having to put a fair bit of effort into this, and it's still not that straight. It's not coming along very well. So I think we might just leave the transmission alone completely. Now that we've got it all apart and everything's a mess, and just do the bush, the control arm mount on the front, just bend that back a little bit. So we'll keep pumping along, and by the end of this video it will all be done. So stick around, grab your bag of chips, grab a bevy, and keep watching. Okay, so I did stop recording for a bit. It's starting to frustrate me now. The gearbox cross member is straight-ish again. We're going to pop that back in and see if that'll pass a waff. And I've also straightened out the bracket on the front lower control arm. So we're going to move on to mounting the lights now. Now my plan was to make little proper light mounts and weld them onto the bar, but I have seen an easier path. And since things today aren't going my way, I'm opting for the easy path. So I'm just going to drill out the hole that's there to a bigger size, retap it and put a bigger bolt in with some Loctite, and that'll be that one ticked off as well. So let's get into that. Alrighty, so I've got the lights all sorted now. I ended up pulling this out, drilling the hole out, putting a riv nut in, the same size as what it was, and putting the bolts back in with a little bit of red Loctite on them. So it's solid as now. I pulled this one off and Loctited all the bolts on that as well. So hopefully they shouldn't come back off. Alrighty, so we're cranking through the list pretty good apart from that transmission cross member. As you can see, I've cut the tint out around the light, so should be no complaints from the WAF man now. It looks pretty good. I just kind of chucked a knife on the back and literally just cut around it. We're going to jump down to the muffler now, and I'll bring you guys down with me, so see if we can get a better look at it to see where I need to weld and stuff. Yeah, so let's jump down there. Right, so you can kind of see this part of the muffler here. It's where all the black shit is. That's where we've cracked it. So it's kind of from here all the way around to around here. So my plan is to just weld the whole way across the whole thing. Right, gas can't get out. Exhaust gases can't get out if there's nowhere for them to get out. So we're just going to grab our welder and just undo our battery first, and then just beautiful.
3 days later.
Alrighty guys, so it's been a couple of days since our last clip. I have new transmission mounts here, so we're just going to go ahead and whack them in so that we can get the truck driving again and go get some speeds for our speedo calibration.
3 days later.
Alrighty guys, so it's a couple of days later again. It's taken a while to tick these last few things off. Got to wait for stuff to turn up and people to do other things. But we have had a delivery today. So we will pull this bad boy out. So this is our speedo correction box from Robinson Instruments. I haven't opened this yet, so we'll look at it together. There you go. It's tiny. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I'll give you guys a bit of a down shot and explain what's going on here. Okay, guys, here we go. So you can see we have our input for this box into the transfer case here with the same little keyway that's on the end of the speedo cable. And then on the other side, we have our input for the speedo cable. So you can see here as well, we've got our little keyway for the speedo cable to slot in and then turn around. So I probably won't film putting this in. I'm just going to go and smack it in and we'll make sure it works. So pretty much they've just had this open. They've put 4 or 5 different gears in here and they've done all the math for me to make sure that in theory the gears have the right output. So it sends the right speed to the speedo. We'll see. We'll put it in and we'll see. Alrighty guys, so we took it back over on a trailer to get the cert and passed a WAF as well now. So for the last couple of weeks I've just been driving around, taking it to work and stuff. As you can see, it's pretty muddy, missing a mud flat. We have been out and tested it and I'm very happy with the results. So keep an eye out for the next video because hopefully we'll be going for a drive. Cheers!